We're focusing on your fairway woods, and you've told us that your main issue is strike related, and more specifically you tend to hit the ball towards the toe of the club. Now it's best to think of the solution to this as being skill based as opposed to being a technical issue. And what we mean by that is you don't need to rebuild your golf swing or change a major aspect of it. We simply need you to improve one of your skills. And the skill is controlling how far away from you the golf club is when it arrives at impact. So if we look closely at impact, when the club is hit out of the toe, we've moved the club closer to us. So if we take setup and then mimic impact where the club is hitting the ball out of the toe, we've had to pull the club towards us. If we look at the opposite, which would be a heel strike, we would have to set up out the middle and then push the club away from us to get the heel strike. So it's our ability to control the distance the club is from us when it arrives at impact that will give you the successful strikes. Now obviously you have a toe bias, which means you generally bring the club closer to you when you strike the ball. The solution is going to be we need to feel that the club is further away from you. So the distance between us and our club increases from setup to impact. Now if we actually did this, of course we'd hit the ball out the heel. But for the short term that wouldn't be a bad thing, because it shows that the improvement that we're working on is happening. We've just exaggerated it slightly and we need to ease back off of it. A good thing to do is have some feedback. So for example, we have a tee here in the ground, and the tee is set so that if you strike the ball out of the toe, the tee will be hit away. On the other hand, if you hit the ball out the middle or the heel, the tee will remain. So the tee is going to be the feedback of success or not when we hit our shot. So to start with, if we have a few practice moves, set up out the middle, go to the top, and then bring the club down and pause just before the club hits the ball. What we're trying to do is go from a centered setup to a heel strike. So the club comes down slightly further away from you than it was when we set up. So up to the top, down to impact and pause, and feel this extra space between us and the club. So once you feel that, and you can recognize what it's doing, it's time to hit a shot. And again, we let the tee be the feedback as to whether we were successful or not. So the goal is as much to miss the tee as it is to hit the golf ball.